Hi, I'm Alee Larson and I'm a precision egg consultant here at Crystal Valley. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the NPDES permit changes for the new 2021 through 2026 permit. Let's talk a little bit about what MPDES stands for. So the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System is organized by the MPCA. Currently, it's applicable to feedlots with over 1,000 animal units. So for example, if you're running a hog site, one hog is 0.3 animal units. So that means if you have a unit of 3,300 hogs, you would then be considered to have a permit for the MPDES. Currently, this permit covers about 1,200 livestock feedlots here in Minnesota, and this permit also combines the federal regulations with the Minnesota regulations. Some of the big changes that were proposed by the MPCA here for the NPDES permit were released in early spring of 2020. So one of the biggest changes they talked about was proposing a cover crop for any manure application that was to take place during the month of June, July, August, and September. Previously, this had just been for June, July, and August, but with the addition of September, that is one of the proposed changes. The next topic would be the nitrogen best management practices during the month of October. So what they're looking to do is add cover crops, split applications of nitrogen, a nitrification inhibitor, or you must apply your manure when the soil temperature is less than 50 degrees. Another proposed change affects the solid application manure. So this would be during the months of February and March. They are looking to prohibit any application during this time. So now we're going to talk about the NPDES permit regulations that have passed and do stand for the permit of 2021 through 2026. So for liquid manure applications, a cover crop must be planted within 14 days of the manure application during the months of June, July, August, and September. So they did add the September month in on that. Previously, it was only June, July, and August. You do have the option or the ability to interseed with the current crop on the field if that is the direction you decide to go, but it needs to be there within 14 days of the manure application in those months. For October restrictions, you cannot apply manure before October 15th unless you do one of the following. The soil temperature is below 50 degrees, a cover crop is established, a nitrogen stabilizer is used, or the split application of nitrogen, meaning that no more than half the recommended nitrogen rate is applied. For those that are affected by the solid manure applications, the new permit regulations for 2021 through 2026 for that, February winter manure applications are under some stricter regulations starting in 2022. So they do give you 2021 this year to make adjustments and get ready for the next following year. These restrictions are going to be a lot similar to those that are during December and January. March winter manure applications will now be prohibited starting in 2022. They will allow you to have the establishment of a temporary stockpile at a feedlot facility without modification to the permit during March. So for those that are used to applying solid manure during March, they do allow you to house that manure that would have previously been applied during this month. So with the changes to the 2021-2026 permit, they did do several removals of certain requirements. So for example, they removed the requirement to notify the MPCA 30 days prior to the startup of an anaerobic digester. They also removed the requirement to submit a report to the MPCA after a bypass of anaerobic digester. They removed the requirement to notify the MPCA 3 days prior to the start of construction of a vegetated infiltration basin. And they finally removed the requirement to notify the Minnesota duty officer for instances of emergency winter liquid manure application. But the requirement to notify the MPCA does still remain. And finally, there were some additional changes. For those that are looking to submit their permit, it has now moved to an online application system, but it has not been released as of today, and no paper copies will be accepted. The preliminary application is released. It's a single-page application that is available on the MPCA website, and this needs to be submitted by January 31st, 2021 in order to continue to have coverage under the current permit. For any additional help or questions, feel free to contact me. My phone number is listed below, or my email, which is alee.larson@crystalvalley.coop.